Hi guys, welcome. So now we will understand that how are we going to address the needs of students? What can be the needs of these adult students? Okay, so you need to understand your students, take time to know your students well, everyone. I mean, each one of them. Okay, what are their interests? What are their strengths? What are their weaknesses? Where is it that they're feeling challenged? Okay, a lot of time probably you might also find somebody who is at an age wherein they're not very comfortable with technology, okay, which is a very essential part nowadays. You may have to help that person separately, offer multiple activities. So everyone has got a different learning curve and different way of learning. So don't offer just one activity. Probably even if it is about role play, probably one student is getting really bored out of it and that person is not taking that active participation that he's supposed to take. Okay, so provide students with different types of task and material, okay, that cater to visual, auditory, kinesthetic learning. So all of these three learning should be involved, because as I said, learners are different. There are few who learns with visual effect, there are few who learns when they listen to something, there are few kinesthetic learning is they always want to apply their logical brain as to when you're teaching something like phrases, tenses, what is the exact use of it in the day-to-day language. They want to do things practically always. They'll not sit with theory. So these three kind of learners are important and you will find it in every class. So you need to offer multiple activities for each kind of learners. Okay. Use technology wisely. Integrate technology into your lesson, but also be mindful that not all students may have access to it, or maybe they're not familiar with it, or maybe they're not even comfortable with this. So don't use technology in a way that students are finding it difficult. Okay, just see if they are comfortable with this, and you also need to be comfortable at the same time. Okay, so that's where you need to, so probably even if you're not very comfortable with technology, then you will have to work on this, because nowadays you can't really keep technology aside. Okay, establish a clear seating rules, sorry. So at times, that's what we used to do in our classroom time, in our time as well, when we used to study in the classroom. That's what teachers used to do with us, that the students who are really not paying a lot of attention, they used to sit in front. Okay, people who talk a lot, they need to be little at a little distance, otherwise they just create disruption for you. So it is for you as well, that if you avoid disruption by managing the class well, you will be able to cater to students' need in a better way. Stay calm and composed. So, how would you stay calm and composed? Show restraint. Don't engage in arguments with difficult students. Okay, ever. You might find students every now and then who are always questioning you. Even they are questioning your ability to teach. Believe me, it can happen because they're not kids. Okay, please stay calm, then just ignore that kind of conversation. Don't get involved in any kind of argument, especially in front of the class, okay, in front of everybody. Increase students inclusion, ensure that everybody is participating. If you find someone who's just not taking active participation in any of the activity, please ask that person, that is there an issue, is that person finding the class boring, is there any other way of learning that that person wants to learn from. Okay, use role plays, create games. We've discussed this over and over, so I'm not elaborating this. Okay, encouraging participation, this is how you can encourage their participation, and that is how you are really catering to their needs. Use role plays, create games, use authentic material to teach them, as in TED talks, videos, articles, news, different news articles, fresh news articles, current affairs, what's going on in the business. Okay, you can create games as well, games of spellings, games of pronunciation, fill in the blanks. All right, so you've written a sentence and then you left that blank empty. Okay, for pronunciation. All right, what is it? Is it with, is it to, is it from? What do we use here and why? So create games like this. That's just going to keep them active in the class. Okay, and they will be able to learn at the same time. Establishing effective communication. Feedback, we've already spoken about it. Providing consistent feedback, encouraging questions. Please give them an environment wherein they are free to question, even if they feel that it's just going to be a very not so good question, but they should not feel shy or hesitant in asking that question. It's okay to ask whatever question that they feel like asking. You need to create that environment. Be open to students' input. When you're asking something, just be open to whatever they want to share. Okay? Because every student is different. So, you need to be just open with that. Be flexible, empathy, mental health support, sensitivity to students' need. I mean, you need to be flexible. This point also we have discussed, but specifically in catering to students' need, you need to be flexible in a way that, probably their culture is different. So cultural sensitivity comes into picture. Any person can have any sort of issue. At times they're dealing with something personal also. They're not able to pay complete attention in the class, or their issue is completely different. Probably you've analyzed that you're teaching them English from a particular point, but then there can be somebody who's just struggling with constructing even a single simple sentence, and that person is not able to understand what are you exactly teaching. So you need to really be flexible with your schedule, with your syllabus, in order to make any changes, or in order to include something while you take your class and you figure out that, yeah, I think if this person is facing this problem, let's just recall it for everybody. Probably someone else is also facing this, but not saying it. Empathy, show empathy and understanding towards the students' stress, issues. You might find these students in a lot of stress and they would have a lot of issues, and they might not be able to connect also that how learning this is going to improvise their position in the company, how are they going to grow in the organization, because they're all working professionals and they're figuring out time out of their work schedule to learn this. Okay, so you need to really help them with that also, and that is all about mental health support at the end of the day. Because if they are facing any anxiety, any stress, because I have seen a lot of especially adult learners, they're actually a lot of time really insecure to have a good position in an organization. At times they're really struggling with personal life and professional life both, and you'll always find them in a lot of stress and they'll hardly talk even when they know things. So you might have to counsel them if possible for you. Okay. So mental health support is something, that can also be needed to a student. So a role of a business language teacher is just not limited to creating a syllabus and just teaching that. It's a way lot than what it seems to be. All right. So that's it for this video, guys, and I'll see you in the next module now.